Playoff bound, baby. Derek Carr, let's do this, man. We going to the Super Bowl. Let's go. Derek Carr's back, baby, and we got Marshawn Beast Mode. Oh yeah. Oh, it's over. We going back this time, baby. Let's do it. You know what? Forget Khalil Mack. Forget Amari Cooper. We got this. We don't need them. We still going to the playoffs, baby. Raider Nation. We're 6-4, man. We're 6-4, man. We can do this. We still can find a way. We're going to get in the playoffs. Once we're in the playoffs, we're good, man. Hey, Niner fans, baby. Bang, bang, ACL, gang. We just beat the Saints, man. I'm going to see you guys in the Super Bowl, man. Let's get it, man. I know it might sound a little crazy. It might sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. But this is the year. This is the year. We got a good defense. It's 2-0, baby. Let's do this. Come on, please. Let's do this. Trust me, Dro. It's different this year. We're gonna win this year, man.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Heavily Contested Podcast, the podcast where
Trev's gonna sing a quick little song.
oh, this should be good.
Trev's gonna sing
This should be good.
Song. Are you guys ready? Uh-oh. Raiders. Did you like that song, bro?
I actually would have changed the lyrics a little bit.
Well,
Myself.
I thought it was a great song. You know why? Because the Raiders take dubs.
And to speak on that point here, we're going to be going over week 2. So we're going to be going over our predictions for each game, what happened, and of course we're going to really go into the 2 games for our favorite teams. So first of all, to start off, the Raiders are 2-0.
Yeah, baby!
The Raiders are 2-0. They went into Pittsburgh and defeated the Steelers. What did
Who
you
are
think?
also a pretty highly ranked team, if we're being honest here, right? So, guys, you know I gotta do my quick little rant. I gotta tell you guys the things that went down because a lot of people they like to really disrespect the Raiders. For what? I don't know. But listen up to this, all right? Derek Carr is now MVP candidate. He is leading the league in passing yards by over 100 yards, and the next person behind him is Kyler Murray with 2, I think maybe even 3 interceptions. He had 2 interceptions last game, though. Mm-hmm. So, he also has a bad line that he's doing it with. He has Darren Waller, but besides that, none of his receivers are really that amazing. So, just to let you guys know that shows how great Derek Carr is. Now, next up, the defense is legit. They showed it in this game. Nobody thought, like Solomon Thomas. Thank you guys for Solomon Thomas. I appreciate the Niners because, he got us 2 sacks. 2 sacks, and I really appreciate that.
He wasn't doing anything for us anyways.
But I think he just likes to be on the Raiders. He looks better in the silver and black, honestly.
Uh-huh.
And then we have a lot of good D linemen that you might not even know about. Darius Philon had great games. Max Crosby is one of the highest rated defensive ends in the league right now. And then now we got so many sleeper receivers. Who you gonna guard? Darren Waller, Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, Hunter Renfrow. Our worst receiver is Willie Snead. Are we being serious here? It seems like we got a lot of weapons. And Kenyon Drake is also a slot receiver. So I'm just saying, if the Raiders have a good season, be on the lookout for Derek Carr to win MVP, as I predicted earlier in the episode. You can go check it out. I believe it's episode 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a great chance we go to the playoffs this year. And I could actually double down and bet on that if people really want to.
First of all, credit does go to the Raiders. They did actually play a great game in Pittsburgh. And I was most impressed by the Raiders' offense and their ability to drive the ball down the field against that Steelers defense. TJ Watt did get hurt, though. So obviously the pressure
he played 1 quarter, but after that he was pretty gone.
And the pressure wasn't there for Steelers. Obviously, it shows how important T.J. Watt is to that team. Also, Steelers offense, it does have issues. Main issue, the entire O-line. That's the problem. And as I predicted, I said this. I think Najee Harris does have the potential to be a great running back in this league.
He's still farmed Jonathan Abram pretty bad.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. Why? Because I think he's going with one of the worst O-lines in football right now. So it's going to be rough for him to get going and get those yards, to put up the numbers that you'd expect from him as a rookie. So I think he is going to struggle, like I predicted. Big Ben, it's not the same Big Ben, and it's hard to throw with that O-line as well. And the one thing I was thinking about when watching the game, the Steelers miss Antonio Brown. They
definitely do.
They miss that guy. Juju's a good receiver.
He's a TikTok star.
Claypool's a good receiver. Deontay Johnson a good receiver, but you don't have that. I haven't seen it yet. It's funny enough because all three of them you think they have potential, but I haven't seen that one receiver step up yet. And I predicted Juju will. There's still time to see that happen. On the other end, Derek Carr is looking great.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Derek Carr is looking great. Henry Ruggs, they finally utilized him. They were really kind of underutilizing him in the last game. So I'm glad to see that they finally used their number one pick from last year. And Darren Waller, of course. Darren Waller is going to be Darren Waller.
He got double teamed throughout the game, so that's what caused them to have to throw to Henry Ruggs.
My only concern here, too, is Josh Jacobs just can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
so it's concerning. Here's the thing. I know when people have told me this, well, he's still a good running back. Yeah, but availability is the best ability.
Like Frank Gore.
Yeah.
He's lasted almost 20 years
Almost 20 years. It's so, I don't care how good he plays when he's there. If he's not going to be there for almost half of the season, it's not that great. And but Josh Jacobs, when he is there, hopefully he stays healthy throughout the season. Again, it's only week 2, but it's just the injury concerns again.
Yeah, that's why we had to get Kenyon Drake.
And that's why you have to get Kenyon Drake. But Derek Carr, great performance. Let's see if he keeps it going here. But yeah, credit to your Raiders. But here we go. I just want to say one thing too. We've been here before. It's looking a lot like deja vu. The Raiders start off great in the season and then it tails off in the end. Can John Gruden keep this team focused all the way through? And we'll see. In the end, though, I do believe you guys have an easy schedule. A fairly easier schedule. Definitely one where you guys can be a playoff team. To move on to the better team here, we're going to go to the 49ers versus the Eagles. Now, the Niners got into a dogfight with the Eagles. They only won 17-11. Jimmy Garoppolo ended the night 22 of 30, 189 yards passing, and 1 touchdown. Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, he had some great plays, but he did struggle with his completion percentage, going 12 of 23, so almost 50% on his passing percentage and 190 yards. But he also did lead the team in rushing yards with 82 rushing yards. A little concerning because the hype has always been on Miles Sanders, and Miles Sanders has yet to get going there for the Eagles. And the Niners, again, injuries are the issue. Elijah Mitchell looked good, but now he's injured. Jermichael Hasty might be out for the next game. Trey Sermon obviously got a concussion on that one run that he had. On the receiving standpoint, though, Deebo Samuel, again, 93 yards receiving on 6 receptions. Deebo Samuel looks like he's coming into his own there, which is very great to see.
Brandon Ayuk, was he here for this game?
Yeah, but he's coming off an injury and everything, so Shanahan's being very cautious with him. Yeah, so I want to hear what you said first.
So this is what I'm going to say here, guys. The Eagles and the Lions. The Niners beat them both by 1 score.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say this right now. I don't think this is the year, guys. I don't think this is the year. Now, you guys are obviously the Niners. You have a great roster, amazing players on the team. It's going to take a lot of flipping in order for you guys to beat those good teams. Because if you guys are barely beating these trash teams, Jalen Hurts, he has a solid game. He's becoming better. But the Eagles roster and the Niners roster do not compare to each other. So you guys definitely should be winning these games a lot easier.
Here's the one thing I'm going to say, though. For the Eagles' credit, The Lions game, I explained why that game got close in the first place, because the Niners decided to take out all their starters really early in the game, a little too early, per se. They had that game in hand, so the score, that one doesn't show the true story there. But this one, in this game, the Eagles actually are kind of solid. Not great, but solid. Solid enough to play spoiler for many teams.
But you guys are also in the hardest division in the entire NFL.
In football.
So that's
Again,
6 games that you really got to be on your A game or you're going to lose.
Exactly. So. And that it gives the Niners time to develop as a team. In the end, it's all coming very new. Hopefully we get Emmanuel Mosley back for corner next week. The only thing I'm going to say is that Garoppolo, he finished off the game strong, but he has to play better throughout an entire game. Because if he's only going to be an average passer of the football, and he's just going to be compact in the pocket, then we might as well put in Trey Lance. Because Trey Lance brings the mobility, and we've seen that he does have good passing ability. We might as well put him in.
He's solid.
The thing about Jimmy Garoppolo is that he's so stagnant in the pocket. He doesn't move. He's very flat-footed, even more than Tom Brady. So I need and what we saw though at the end, so credit to Garoppolo, he finished the game strong. He was running the ball. He was moving in the pocket. He was making good throws. That's what I want to see more of, and that's what we need to see throughout the entirety of a game. If he plays like that, like how he finished, then
you guys could win a lot of games.
Then we could start winning more. But it depends on Garoppolo, and it depends on health, of course, too.
Yeah. If I was the Niners for this game, I would think of it as an L because you guys should have blew them out. Not blow them out, but you at least beat them by 2 touchdowns. Yeah. At least.
No,
I would take it as an L.
Definitely don't be too excited with the win. Move on to the next one. We got a big game this week, and I'll talk about that more later. To continue on with the rest of the week, Giants versus Washington started off the week on Thursday Night Football with a great game, actually.
Well, actually a solid game.
Ending 30-29. Taylor Heineke, who I said was probably the better quarterback for Washington anyways, ended up throwing for 336 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He had an INT, which was a questionable play call in the first place. And Terry McLaurin, of course, 11 receptions, 107 yards, and a touchdown. Daniel Jones played a solid game, 22 of 32, 249 yards, and 1 touchdown.
This is his comeback year. He has to really show it.
And
he has been playing good.
And he's been playing. And Daniel Jones, also the leading rusher for the team, with 9 carries, 95 yards.
That's not bad.
And a touchdown rushing. So Daniel Jones doing a lot offensively there.
Yeah, so.
Here's what I said. We both predicted Washington would win. What surprised me was how good the Giants' offense played, actually. Like, moving on Washington. Of course, what's also impressive is how good Washington's offense played. But, again, we both predicted it. I also still predict the Giants to go to the playoffs. But I expect them to develop throughout the season. So this was actually a good step in the right direction for them.
Yeah, that was
Be happy with it. The other one, Texans-Browns. We expected the Browns to win. Why? Because the Browns are the better team.
Browns are the Browns. They're going to win.
Texans, though, I do have to give credit. You actually made it competitive. That's actually pretty good. The only concern for them is now Tyrod Taylor's hurt.
It's over.
And that's going to be a big strike there. Because Tyrod was actually playing very good. So, actually, I do have to give the Texans coaches credit. They're making their team play very competitive.
They had to do, but it's over, guys.
It's in the end, you guys still have a rougher roster. Other one, Broncos Jaguars.
Next game.
Broncos won. Patrick Surtain, my defensive rookie of the year, looked great. He had an interception. He had a couple batted passes, and he had a good amount of tackles. Trevor Lawrence is looking.
Did not even watch this game. I'm never gonna watch either of their games unless the Broncos play the Raiders, and Trevor Lawrence sucks. So
Teddy Bridgewater, give credit, he's playing great. On the other one, Saints Panthers.
Panthers, they lost to the Panthers.
I want to note this right now.
Are we being serious?
This was one of my favorite games of the week.
This was one of your favorite
we
games
have
of
two.
the week.
We listed down 2 favorite games of the week. Now, the difference between best game of the week and favorite games is, of course, best games are usually the closest ones, but favorites are what you just like to see. I love upsets. This was a great one, and also because I am a big Sam Darnold advocate, and so far he has proved it, going for 300 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Looking very solid there. Christian McCaffrey, of course, the workhorse, doing it all, passing and catching wise. Jameis Winston doing the exact opposite.
How many picks did he throw? Picks?
2 turnovers.
Wow.
Jameis Winston going back to his former self, doing those famous turnovers that he's used to making.
I did think that Jameis Winston was going to be solid.
I did
but
too.
He's also gonna have great games, but he's also gonna have games where he plays like this. So very gonna be shaky for the
Kamara though had a rough game too, not even getting over 20 yards rushing. So far he's had it rough. That's Travis's offensive player of the year there. But
I think he does need Michael Thomas to come back in order for him to be able to.
In the end though, don't over exaggerate though. I still think the Saints will be solid. I think Winston's still gonna just take some time to get into shape here. Rams Colts. Colts made it interesting for a second. Carson Wentz played great, and then got hurt.
Yeah. He sprained both of his ankles.
Wow,
how do you do that? All right.
Carson Wentz, unfortunately, he's so injury prone, but he looked like he was getting back to his former self there, especially at the end. But again, the injuries are always a problem. On the other end, the Rams
are going to be
Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp seems to be taking that number one receiver spot now. 163 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Ramsey got a pick. Quinn Nelson also played a great game against Aaron Donald, which is something I just had to note. So the Colts are still solid.
But it's over.
If Carson Wentz is hurt, they're not going to win the division, especially with how another team looked that we'll get to later. But if the Colts, if Carson Wentz can be healthy, that could be a playoff team. I definitely could say that. Bills Dolphins. Tua got hurt, unfortunately. Luckily, it was only a rib injury, but
he's going to be out for a while.
He's going to be out and we see what the Dolphins' problems is. I think what I just have to say about this game real quick is the Dolphins are wasting a good defense right now that the Dolphins have with the great secondary and Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, and they're just putting it to waste.
Also, I feel like Josh Allen was supposed to take another step. He's not taking
the step.
He's not taking the step.
The Bills don't look like the team
last year. I thought they had a lot of potential, and Josh Allen, I think he's just not taking the next step.
Here's the one thing I'm going to say about this game. I know it was a shutout. It looked like the Bills dominated, but the Bills gave the Dolphins way too many chances to get back in this game, and it was due to the Dolphins' incompetence that they couldn't make this a game. Just so the only thing that's concerning for me is the Bills don't look too great right now. And my offensive player of the year prediction, Stephon Diggs, so far has not looked like an offensive player of the year. I still think, of course, it's early in the season, but a little concerning is the Bills don't look like that firepower that we were expecting. Yeah. Next game, Patriots versus Jets.
Man. I was already telling you guys, this was one of the best games that you could ever watch, man. Like Patriots versus Jets. But I will say this.
Matchup for the ages.
Zach Wilson is my offensive rookie of the year.
He's offensive rookie of the year. So far, putting out a true rookie of the year outing right there. Throwing 4 interceptions.
I'm pretty sure he had like 3 fantasy points.
And,
if I can I appeal, have a new offensive rookie of the year? Or
go ahead. It's so bad.
Anybody else. That's my new offensive rookie of the year.
Yes. Mac Jones, on the other hand, the other rookie, 22 of 30 and 186 yards passing. Mac Jones just looks like a good little facilitator. He's not doing too much. Here's the one thing, though. I'm not going to give too much credit to Mac Jones either because he looks like he's doing stuff that Andy Dalton or Teddy Bridgewater can do.
Yeah.
He's not winning you the games, but he's not losing you the games either, right? Of course, it's a rookie, so I don't want to get on him. But in the end, credit, he is playing like the best rookie QB right now at the moment. But let's not also get too overhyped yet. We got more to see from him. And the Jets, of course, just a bad roster. They're struggling right now. On the other game, Bengals-Bears.
I'm sorry. I didn't really care for this game either. But this is one thing that I noted from the game. Khalil Mack is not the same player that he was with Raider Nation. This was his first sack in the season. I know it's game 2, but Khalil Mack literally was offense for us. Yeah. And now he just gets a sack here and there, and people still rate him high. In the
end, the one thing that we have to credit, the Bears' defense is still the Bears' defense. Still a solid defense. Offensively, Justin Fields had some rookie, looks like, facing some rookie problems a little bit. But we expect this. I didn't expect Fields to go out looking as good as he did in the preseason. But I also didn't expect him to look this bad.
Yeah. But he's a rookie, so he got time, and maybe he'll fix it.
Exactly, and it's his first game. Also, I think Matt Nagy is a awful coach. I think he should get fired. I'm waiting for that day. I think once that happens, Justin Fields will really start to expand. I think he's holding that team back. On the other hand, the Bengals, they lost like we were expecting because in the end, don't fall for the hype just because they won one game. Although, again, they're still a team that's good enough to play spoiler with an offense like with Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow and T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and a whole bunch of other guys. Potential there still to grow into a playoff team at some later years. Falcons, Bucks, what did we expect? The Bucks to win, right? Yeah, we did. So the Bucks did win.
The Falcons didn't look terrible, though.
No, they did not.
There, you know what I'm saying? Is that a little shot?
Here's the only thing. If the Falcons had a viable O-line, I think that offense would be great.
And their defense is not.
And their defense is it's just not there.
Who is their best defensive player?
Deion Jones. And
Who's old now?
Well, he's not old, but he hasn't turned out to be that linebacker that we hyped him up to be.
Yeah,
he's still a solid linebacker.
I think he already hit his peak, though. He's going downhill.
He might be. But in the end, the Bucks look like the best team in football still. That offense is unstoppable. Tom Brady looks like he cut his youth even more than last year.
He's about to break his Patriots record, I believe. I don't know what that record is.
Tom Brady throwing 5 touchdowns. Right now, he's on pace for possibly a 50-touchdown passing season.
50?
Well, throwing 4 in the first game, 5 in the second game. He has the potential to do something like that, which would be incredible to do at his age. The next game, the best game of the week, probably. Vikings-Cardinals.
That was a great game. I like that game. The only thing that I would say about that game.
How do you miss that kick? I don't even know your name. I don't want to say your name. You're not worth my time of mentioning.
You're not even worth it.
How do you miss a 33-yard field goal? You're an NFL player, an NFL kicker.
How close was that field goal? Was it not?
It was the same as the extra point.
Yeah, that's what
I was like. And he put it wide right. They didn't even call a timeout. They didn't even ice you. And you missed.
Yeah, that's just a play where you call a dude, just be like, you know what? You're not a guy. You're not a dude.
Yes.
You might as well turn in your jersey. You're gone.
Kirk Cousins played a great game, 244 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Pretty much no mistakes. Dalvin Cook had an incredible game, 22 carries for 131 yards, despite going down a couple times even. And on the other hand, Kyler Murray played great, but he also he had a couple mistakes here and there with the interceptions.
He's MVP candidate as well,
still,
but he's
got to tune up those mistakes still. Because it wasn't like it was bad throws, but it was just bad reads.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
He's still young, though. He's got time to grow.
He's got time to grow. In the end, the Cardinals still look good. Defense did not look as good as last week, which is surprising considering how we might consider the Titans offense to be better than the Vikings. But also shows that the Vikings actually do have a solid offense. They just need to get their defense tuned up. Yeah. But the Cardinals still look like a dangerous team. Moving on to one of my second favorite game of the week. Because who doesn't like seeing the Seahawks lose?
This was a great game, honestly. Like, this was my favorite game.
Oh, yeah. It was mine, too.
This is the reason why, though. It's not because it was an overtime game. Was it overtime?
It was.
It's not because it was an overtime game. It's because the Titans finally showed what they're supposed to show. Derrick Henry went crazy.
Yep.
A.J. Brown did a little something. Julio came.
Julio showed up. Julio still said, "I'm still one of the best receivers in this league."
Don't forget about me.
And he had a touchdown stolen away. That play should have been a touchdown. Yeah. But the refs are
The only thing that I'm saying, though, is Russell Wilson didn't clutch up. I thought he was going to do it.
Yeah,
because I know you cannot give Russell Wilson the ball in overtime.
Well, here's the one thing I'll say that I was talking to my dad, too, and we were on the phone when it happened. I said if the Titans punt this ball away in overtime, they're going to lose this game.
It's over.
Because I thought for sure Russell Wilson would be able to just drive it down, especially with the way the Titans defense, first of all, their secondary has issues. There's guys wide open multiple times. It wasn't just once. It was multiple times. Miscommunication. The only guy that I see out there that's viable is Kevin Byard, really, at the moment.
You know what I think the issue was? I think Sierra's dress that she wore, the little 3, the Russell Wilson jersey.
It just
I think
cursed
Russell
him.
Wilson just, he's cursed from that.
Yeah.
And ever since then, he ain't got the juice no more. We'll see.
In the end, Tyler Lockett looking like the number 1 receiver on the Seahawks now.
He ain't doing nothing.
Tyler Lockett with 178 yards receiving and a touchdown. On the other hand, Derrick Henry, the best running back in the league, rushed for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is now the 10th time that he's rushed for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, making that third all-time already in his career. Ryan Tannehill had a great game, solid, efficient, 27 of 40, 347 yards passing. And the Titans came out with a much-needed win so that they could prevent themselves from going down 0-2.
They should have lost, but
Love seeing fight like that from a team.
that was a great game.
On the other game, Cowboys versus Chargers.
This was a solid game.
It was a solid game. First of all, credit to Greg Zuerlein, looking like his former self, kicking a 50-yard field goal to win the game. Impressive. On the other hand, Cowboys defense.
Michael Parsons winning at the end. And I seen that
And
he
did
got
his
some
job.
potential. They also got the little running game in. They got Tony Pollard coming on this side, Ezekiel Elliott on this side.
And they got defenders, man, in Diggs, Trayvon Diggs at
yeah.
corner
Him.
is looking great.
Him.
And also Devontae KZ is looking good at the safety position.
I know what you're talking about.
Herbert, just some weird mistakes here and there that ended up costing him. And also, I just want to say, that was probably some of the worst officiating I've seen in the game in a while. So, here's the thing. The Chargers, though, that's a big loss for them because next week they got the Chiefs. And they got...
That's it.
And based on what we're about to say right now, you're going to see why the Chiefs is a little more dangerous right now. Because they're angry that they just lost to Lamar Jackson for the first time.
Who also lost to the Raiders, so let's just point that out. But we'll leave that alone. We'll say that for another time. But I do think at the end of the day, though, the Chiefs won that game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's their worst offensive player. That's crazy to say.
That's crazy to say because you would think Clyde.
He's their worst offensive player. Fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
And they lost the
Had
game.
a young mistake there. Here's the thing, though. The one thing I got to say for my guy, because I always advocate for this guy, Lamar Jackson, started off rough, but he did what great quarterbacks do, and he finished strong. He didn't let that affect him. He's a winner. And the one thing I got to say, too. So, first of all, the Chiefs, let's not overreact. In the end, the Chiefs were pretty much in position to win that game. Although, here's the one thing I am going to say, too, about the Chiefs. They're not ready to take on Tampa Bay. They're not even close.
Raiders,
I think even worse than last year because the way Tampa Bay is moving right now, they can't stop Tampa Bay's offense, and Tampa Bay's defense won't be missing tackles like the Ravens' defense was this game. They don't miss tackles. They don't mess up. That defense is
I
plays.
don't think that the Chiefs are going to make it too far. I think someone could beat them. Like you said, the Browns.
I think
the Browns are going to go back.
The Browns are going into... I should just say this every week. The Browns are going into Kansas City and taking them out, but not just beating them, handling them, catching them off guard. I guarantee
Anyways,
it.
guys, Monday Night Football
Yes.
was Packers versus the Lions. And Aaron Rodgers decided. He was like, hey, no more discount double check.
Nah, he came
I
out
want to
strong.
play football for once. And I was like, okay.
And he did.
Thank
And
you. We appreciate you.
It was interesting at first. The Packers defense still has holes, it looks like, because the way the
Yeah.
Lions were driving on early in the game. They got lucky that the Lions couldn't handle the weather.
And Aaron Jones said, hey.
Let me win someone some fantasy
Let me
games.
tell you guys something real quick. You need some fantasy help? I got you.
I got you.
Devontae, are you feeling a little wounded today? I got you. Aaron Rodgers, you need your career saved?
You know,
I got you, man. And they came
Aaron-
out with the dub, and it was an easy
it
dub.
was an efficient game from the Packers. Here's the only thing I'm going to say again. They don't have a number 2 receiver still.
No.
It's
Not at
Devontae and no one else.
Yeah.
That's an issue. It's
about it.
gonna bite them in. It's gonna bite them in the end. Watch, because MVS should not be considered a number 2 receiver.
Oh, no.
And no offense to MVS, I think MVS still can be a solid
Allen
receiver.
Lizard.
Yeah, an Allen Lizard. And Randall Cobb, unfortunately, is no longer in his prime.
So, yeah.
But a great week of football, some great games.
That was some great games.
Truly some great games. But let's move on to week 3 now, having
week.
seen what we saw from week 2. So, the first game of the week, Thursday Night Football. Panthers versus the Texans.
Definitely the Panthers. The Texans suck.
Yes, and I guarantee that the Panthers will win. Sam Darnold will have another great game. I'm riding very high now on this Panthers team with Sam Darnold, DJ Moore, and Christian McCaffrey being the main 3 of this offense. And that defense looks like they can get to the quarterback. On the next game, Washington versus the Bills.
Washington versus the Bills. I got to go with the Bills. That's the
Ooh.
reason why. I think that Taylor Heineke could have a little bad game, and I think Josh Allen has had 2 average games. and he's gonna come out and be like, okay, I need to show you guys.
I think Allen will have those games, but it won't be against that defense.
Okay.
And I think I'm not seeing what I thought I'd see from the Bills this year. I see a team that's vulnerable. And I think Washington will exploit that in this game and take them out and drop the Bills to 1-2 to start the season. I think Washington, obviously, offensively, they showed a little more firepower with Taylor Heineke there at the helm. Next game, Bears-Browns.
Honestly,
we know.
This is so crazy. Like, I might have to go with the hell nah. Not going with no Bears. This is my lock-in game, 100% win for the Browns. Yeah. Nick Chubb going to have 3 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah. I think the Bears offensively just aren't able to keep pace with many teams, unfortunately. One thing I have to say, I think I forgot to mention, Panthers are my lock for a guaranteed win against the Texans. Wow. Guaranteed Thursday night, Panthers will handle the Texans. Next game, Ravens versus Lions.
Gotta go with the Ravens.
Yeah.
I would give this a lock, but Lamar, I really feel like he has so much pressure on him.
Well,
so if he has one bad game, it's over.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, is that team is still dealing with injuries.
Yeah.
Next game, Colts-Titans. With Carson Wentz probably doubtful for the game. I have the Titans, and I have them as a lock.
Yeah, honestly,
a guarantee to win this game. Colts,
but after that injury, after reading more and seeing how bad it is, I gotta go with the Titans. There's no way that the Colts win this game.
They can't. Not with who they have at quarterback right now. Next game, Chargers-Chiefs.
This is definitely the Chiefs. Not a lock, but there's no way Justin Herbert beats out Patrick Mahomes.
And I think the Chiefs coming off a loss too will come with a little more firepower and play a little more mistake-free football. Unfortunately for the Chargers, who I still think are a good team, they just have a rough start in the schedule here, playing some solid teams early on. They'll be lucky though. They'll be sitting 1-2 and get these 3 games out the way. Saints-Patriots. This is an interesting one.
Gotta go with the Saints. Now, this is the reason why I'm doing this. The Saints just took an L to the Panthers. I don't think they want to take another L. Now, I think Jameis Winston, like I said, he could have a bad game. He also have a good game. This is going to be one of the good games.
Yeah, and I think the Saints defense will be able to give trouble for Mac Jones.
Oh, yeah. He's too young.
He's too young. He's bound to make mistakes as a rookie. I think this will be one of those games where he stumbles a little bit. Next game, Falcons-Giants. I'm going with the Giants.
Oh my God! Okay, now the reason why is because the Giants have been taking some L's.
Mm-hmm. And it's rough.
But they had a close game against the football team.
And
they showed some
promise. Yep.
The Falcons, on the other hand, have not shown me anything. So
nothing positive, unfortunately.
You gotta go with the Giants.
And I do think the Giants are a team that's gonna just keep getting better throughout the season. Steelers-Bengals. Steelers. Yeah.
Bengals did nothing.
You're the Bengals.
Steelers had a chance with the Raiders.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's my analysis for it. If the Bengals struggle with the Bears defense, which is still a good defense, and they're going to struggle with the top 3 defense in the NFL.
Especially if TJ Watt is healthy.
And if TJ Watt's going to play. That's a big key. Cardinals-Jaguars.
Lock.
Cardinals.
Lock. This is a lock. I'll bet you $3 million right now that the Cardinals win this game.
And I'm also putting this as the most boring game of the week because I think it will just be hard to watch.
You don't have this game as a lock?
No, because I want to be a little more bold with my lock.
Okay.
But of course, if I were to have a 4th lock, it'd be the Cardinals. And I also just think this game is boring. It could be really boring because I think the Cardinals will just have it from the gun. Although the Cardinals better not go in too confident. Because then that's where teams get you. Jets-Broncos. Broncos.
Sorry, I really don't care. This is my worst game of the week.
Okay.
Jets versus Broncos. This game's going to be the game that nobody's going to watch. And we just going to say, oh, okay, they won. Cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, too, I think the Jets are now going to be playing an even tougher defense with the Broncos. And we saw Zach Wilson struggling. Here's the one thing I got to say. Sam Darnold was never the problem. It was always the Jets. And it's showing now.
I don't even think it's the
Sam Darnold isn't the only Jets quarterback to be seeing ghosts out there. Every Jets quarterback has seen ghosts. Mark Sanchez, and now Zach Wilson. It just passes down. You're a curse of a franchise.
I think it's over for the Jets. Forever.
Forever. You haven't won a Super Bowl since Super Bowl III. Good luck getting to your next one.
Super Bowl III?
Good luck getting to your next one.
Wow.
Dolphins-Raiders. With Tua I don't even know. I think it's
it's
questionable to doubtful for Tua. With
so who you got winning this game, Joe?
I'll finally side with the Raiders on this one.
Sir!
Yeah, Raiders at home against the Dolphins.
And it's the beginning of the season. Everybody knows we're gonna win the beginning of the season.
And the Raiders have a tough home field advantage with that playing in Las Vegas. So I do think the Raiders are gonna win. That offense looks really good, and that defense. We saw how much the Dolphins struggled offensively, and now going against the Raiders defense, it'll be worse. Bucks Rams.
I went with the Rams. Now that's the crazy thing. The Bucks are an amazing team, but I do take a little bit of knowledge from you. This is your MVP, right, Matthew Stafford? I think he comes out and surprises the league and takes the dub.
Thank you. I have the Rams winning this game too. And this is Travis's Super Bowl champ versus my predicted Super Bowl champ.
The
Travis
Bucks are gonna win the championship.
The Rams are gonna win the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I think they're the better team, but I think the Bucks are gonna meet their first real struggle offensively, going against that defense and Jalen Ramsey. They're gonna have a bit of a rough point there, because you got Jalen Ramsey who could cover all three of those receivers, right? Yeah. Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, doesn't matter. Jalen Ramsey's got you. On the other hand, I think the Rams offense is just going to continue catch rhythm with Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee. It's a good offense. Good enough to get the job done. Next game, Seahawks versus the Vikings.
I went with the Vikings because I hated the way Russell Wilson played at the end of that game.
And this is my... This is my game of the week. I think this will be the best game here.
Seahawks versus the Vikings.
Vikings in their home opener going against the Seahawks. I have the Vikings winning this one. I think it's going to be a hungry Vikings team, knowing that they probably could have won the last two games and be 2-0. They're a team that's better than their record shows. We're moving on to the next game here. It's Packers versus 49ers.
Now this is my game of the week. Packers versus the 49ers.
Sunday night.
But this is also my lock.
For?
The Packers.
That is funny. You know why? Because the Niners, I saved one more lock. The Niners are my lock to win this game. Bold. See, I went for bold.
I went for bold as well.
I
went for
bold.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Aaron Rodgers finally said he want to play. This is your biggest test right now, Aaron Rodgers. Show me that you want to play. This is the game that you show it. This is the team that knocked you out 2 years ago.
Yep. And Rodgers has had some of his worst games in his career against the Niners. Here's what I want to say about this game and why I think the Niners are locked to win in their home opener. Because the Niners defensively are going to eradicate that Packers offensive line that's struggling right now.
Okay.
Without David Bakhtiari, it's going to be a rough showing for that Packers O-line. And I think that D-line can put enough pressure on the Packers. It'll save the DBs from Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers' wrath. Save them. Because we are struggling at DB. Yeah. We are. But if that D-line comes out and plays a great game again, we should be fine. Also, I think that Packers defense is not as good this year.
It's not. But
and it wasn't really as good. It was pretty overhyped a lot of years. But here's the thing. They let the Lions drive on them almost with ease early on in the game.
I mean, the Niners.
And here's the thing. I know the score doesn't show it, but I think that Packers-Lions game was a much closer game than the Niners-Lions game. Because the Niners had that Lions game.
Yeah.
They had it on hold. You know what I mean? They had them they were strangling them. And then they let go a little bit, let the Lions come back, and then they took control back there at the end. Yeah. I think the Niners are actually the better team. And it's crazy because I'm always a guy who's, as a Niners fan, who's always even kill. I don't try to be too out there.
I feel like the Packers with Devontae Adams, I think Devontae Adams is going to go crazy in this game. Look out for at least 2 touchdowns.
Here's the only thing I'm going to say. The Packers only beat us last year because we were hurt. And they know it. That Packers team was not as good as the Niners team in 2019, fully healthy. And now we got Nick Bosa back, D Ford, Javon Kinlaw, Eric Armstead. No. They will come into Levi's Stadium. Aaron Rodgers' worst nightmare is Levi's. And he will not win.
He don't wear Levi jeans.
He don't wear Levi's. You better stick to Wrangler. Stick with your boy Brett Favre with the Wrangler jeans. Because you ain't coming in the Levi's with the dub. That's all I'm going to say. Niners are my lock. Next game, Eagles-Cowboys. In Dallas. This is the home opener for Jerry World. And
Eagles are definitely destroying the Cowboys. They're going to go in there and they're going to make sure that the Cowboys never sing again. Hell no. Cowboys are taking the dub.
Cowboys.
And if the Cowboys lose, you guys better not say anything for the rest of the season. I don't want to hear a word out of you cowgirls, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
100%. I got to agree with him. I think the Cowboys defense is actually showing improvement. And offensively, I think that Cowboys offense is starting to figure it out, especially with Zeke and also, big name that we didn't mention earlier, Tony Pollard, the running back.
He stepped up.
The running back is stepping up here to kind of assist Ezekiel Elliott there. So that's why I got to go with the Cowboys at home in their home opener. I just don't think the Eagles roster, it's solid, but it's not there yet. Cowboys are the better team. As Travis plays make-believe with the helmets over here. That's pretty much our analysis for week 3. I mean, any other thing you want to add real quick?
I just want to say this for the last time, guys. I'll see you guys in the Super Bowl. I definitely got to take out an AFC team. I think the Raiders are going to go against the Bucs in the Super Bowl. I'll see you guys then. We're going to be 3-0. Don't know about the rest of the season. But I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching.
I just have to say, isn't it funny how we've been here before, have we not? With the Raiders starting off good and the hype. We've been here before. We know how it's going to end. Me and you?
Raiders.
We know the truth. We know how it's going to end. I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Heavily Contested. I want to thank my co-host, Travis Dampierre, of course. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.